Welcome to WNEM TV5's Fast Break Friday Preview Show.
Hey everyone, and welcome to WNEM's Fast Break Friday Preview Show. It's the final week of January, which means we have just under a month left in the high school boys and girls basketball regular season. Hard to believe that.
I know, right? It seems like we're just gone flown by this year.
Yeah.
With only a few weeks left, the top teams in each conference are looking to capture their league title. That includes our WNEM Game of the Week featuring Heritage taking on Midland High.
We'll kick off the show by focusing in on the Hawks. Heritage enters this matchup with an 11-3 overall record this season, while being a perfect 6-0 in the Saginaw Valley League North. The Hawks have won 8 of their last 9 games heading into tomorrow night. Heritage is incredibly young. 7 of the 12 players on the roster are sophomores, but don't get it twisted. They have a ton of varsity experience, as most of them saw lots of playing time last year as freshmen. Well, the Hawks were able to beat the Chemics earlier this season. They know the challenges Midland High presents.
They're quick in every single thing they do. In transition, with their passes, they make good passes. They're going to attack in the paint at a million miles an hour, and they're going to kick it to the correct person. They have great court vision, especially number 4, their point guard. Her head's always up, and she's making different moves. She's coming off ball screens, and her vision of the opposite side of the floor is incredible.
Full of great guards. They all can shoot. They can handle the ball. They have a really good post player, Ellie. So I think just they're a mixture of everything. So just guarding them is always going to be a difficult thing for us. And they're super athletic, and they have a lot of energy. A team with a lot of energy like that, I mean, they bring it on the court.
Now to Midland High, was currently 9-4 and are 5-1 in the Saginaw Valley League North. The Chemics' only conference loss came last month at the Heritage Hawks. Following that loss, Midland High won 7 of their next 9 games and feel prepared to get some revenge. A win this Friday would keep the Chemics in the hunt for a back-to-back SVL title. Midland High knows they have what it takes to even the series.
We know that's a big game that puts us back in contention for the Valley. We also know that Heritage is a stacked team. We know they have a ton of talent. They have a new coach. They have a lot of energy going their way, have also played a tough schedule. So I think we're very similar in that sense. So we don't underestimate them by any measure. We watch our first game against them. We live that. We know where we can tighten some things up. We feel good about our situation for Friday, but we certainly know that you have to come and play a great game. And you know, the team with probably the least amount of errors and puts the ball through the hoop the most times is going to be happy at the end of the night.
Well, let's take a closer look at the battle between Midland High and Heritage through the years. Last season, this game would actually determine the winner of the Saginaw Valley Conference, as the Chemics would hand the Hawks its only conference loss. Midland High would then finish 11-0 in conference play to win the title. And
since 2020, these two teams have been close to even in the series, with Heritage holding a slight 4-3 edge over Midland High. Once again, these two programs are 1-2 in the SVL North. We'll see if Midland can force a tie on top of the standings on Friday night. Certainly a fun one to watch. I'm looking forward to that. But it's just one of double-digit games that we're planning on getting to tomorrow night. Cole, staying in the Saginaw Valley League North, the girls hoops now goes on the road to face Bay City Western. Both teams come into this game with a 6-6 overall record. Earlier this season, the Chargers would defeat the Warriors at home. Bay City Western now looking to return the favor. Now to boys basketball, where we will stay in the SVL but go to the south, as Grand Blanc will host Saginaw United. The Phoenix entered this game with 11-5 on the season and 5-2 in conference play, while the Bobcats are 11-2 overall and unbeaten at 6-0 in the SVL. These two programs would meet earlier this season back in mid-December. It was a tight one, with Grand Blanc getting the win 48-45 at United, getting revenge for their only conference loss last season. With the win, Grand Blanc would need to beat Powers Catholic next Friday to lock up the SVL South and a spot in the SVL championship game. United would look to ruin those plans and get themselves back in the hunt with a win tomorrow night. And I was at their first matchup when it was here in Saginaw, and that was a buzzer beater that the Bobcats hit. It was tied 45-45. They hit a game-winning three-pointer on a tough shot. Looking forward to seeing if that one goes right down to the wire as well. Well, let's transition to the Big Thumb Conference White. Laker goes on the road to face Caro. Now, Laker is 12-2 overall this season with a perfect
8-0 record in conference play. On the flip side, the Tigers come in at 9-6 and 4-4 in the BTC. Laker and Carroll met up earlier this month in a game that actually went to overtime, where Laker ended up getting the win 67-65. Carroll will look to learn from that close battle and earn their first win over Laker since 2019.
And it seems like always those thumb games come down to the very wire. You never know who's going to win those games, so never count a team out in a battle of the thumb.
You were at the game of the week last week.
St.
with
Gas City,
and Reese.
Yeah, great game. That one, those two teams. I think that whole game, the game was only separated by 4 points. It was a very impressive game and fun one to watch. And of course, expect great defenses in both, always in the thumb conference games as well.
Yes.
Well, other games we have on our schedule tomorrow, including in girls basketball, Mount Morris at Genesee. Corona is home against unbeaten Goodrich. Pierre takes on Davidson, and Shepherd faces Bullock Creek. And in boys basketball, Carmen Ainsworth travels across Flint to face Powers Catholic. Bridgeport welcomes Frankenmuth, and Mount Pleasant faces Bay City Central.
Still a couple of unbeaten teams on that list, Cole. You have Goodrich in girls hoops, Frankenmuth in boys hoops. Both look to get wins tomorrow night.
Say Goodrich has been very impressive so far this year. I was looking at their schedule earlier today, and I didn't realize they beat, I think it was 4 Division I teams so far this season.
Wow.
All in the top, 3 of them in the top 15. So being a Division II team, making that much of an impact early, they easily have one of the best resumes in Division II right now.
Absolutely, and the Eagles still got to go up against Freeland one more time. They got them at Freeland. They're going to play at Frankenmuth here in the next couple of weeks.
Next Friday, I think, if I'm correct.
It's going to be a
game
one.
to keep an eye on for game of the week.
Game of the week next week, we'll see, but it should be fun. Well, all that and much more coming up on Fast Break Friday tomorrow night.
Along with double-digit games, we'll have our play of the night in the 3 finalists for next Friday's game of the week.
Well, that'll do it for our preview show. For Cole Martins, I'm Mark Pearson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow night for another edition of Fast Break Friday.